Well, you killed it.
Looking out through the hole in the roof on a cool, pleasant day. 59 degrees the temperature. A little windy, but that doesn't come into Texas Stadium. The Cowboys entertain the Carolina Panthers today. I'm Pat Summerall with Brian Baldinger. And you know, when you think about it, Brian, these are two very similar teams. The quarterbacks, both quarterbacks, played not to lose, necessarily not to win. What do you think is the key to this match today?
Yeah, you know, Pat, I think you have to look in the trenches today, because really from the beginning of the season, the problem with the Cowboys has been in the offensive line. The all-pro Larry Allen's not going to start today. Kelvin Garman was traded yesterday, so they're going to start three very young players, very green, very inexperienced. You're going to see Marcus McFadden making his first NFL start, Javier Collins his first, and Matt Laird center only his third start. This group has to play very well today. In the run game, they have to count well, and then in the protection game, because they're going up against the best defensive front in football. Ranked #1, and I think it starts with this defensive line. Speed on the ends with Mike Rucker and the rookie Julius Peppers, and they can push the pocket with Princeton Buckner and Chris Jenkins. And this is where this defense gets their personality from. They can rush the passer without having a blitz.
There's some good news, however, after that hospital report. The Panthers got their best offensive player back. Darren Woodson wasn't supposed to play, but he will start for Dallas. What about the Panthers?
Well, they do, Pat. They get Muhsin Muhammad out at wide receiver today. He's been out 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. He's still not 100%. I talked to him on the field, but he said he knows how to manage the injury, and he's looking forward to taking some of the pressure off of that passing game and making some plays. And
remember to answer today's Sprint virtual coach question. Which head coach in the NFL has done the best job this season? You can vote now using PCS Vision from Sprint, or log on to foxsports.com. Anthem.
Oh, you gotta jump jiving, then you really 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 gotta jump jiving, then you really.
You're watching October's Magical Matchups on Fox.
Voting is an important right, but apparently Tony Sanchez doesn't agree. When Texans voted to lower property taxes, build schools, increase college funding, and
A league.
The Agile Play of the Week is brought to you by Microsoft, providing software to help businesses be more agile. In Week 5, the Chiefs' Priest Holmes demonstrated why he's one of the premier running backs in the NFL as he caught Trent Green's pass for the winning touchdown.
inside the 10 to the 5, he dives, touchdown, Kansas City!
Jets linebacker number 51, James Darling, was no match for Holmes' agility.
Gina?
October's magic is alive. The Angels look for their first trip to the Fall Classic with a win over the sinking Twins. And the Cards kept their hopes alive, but face another must-win against Bonds and the Giants. October's magical matchups continue later today on Fox.
Critics call it the #1 new show you have to watch. Fast Lane, back in action Wednesday, October 30th on Fox.
We're at Texas Stadium, where we've had a last-minute change in the Cowboys starting lineup. In the presence of that man, he's not healthy. He's got a bad ankle, but he is going to start at left guard.
Yeah, you know, and he came out of each of the last 2 ball games now with that bad left ankle. And he's just one of those guys that it's game time, the adrenaline's flowing.
Yep.
He wants to give it the best shot he has, go as long as he can.
And his best shot can be scary.
You don't want to take that best shot.
No.
No, because sometimes that's all there is. Just his best shot. He doesn't need a second one.
We were here last week against the Giants, and it got very hot down on the field at the end of the game. Today, they got a break. A cool day. As Todd Sauerbrunn set to kick it off to Reggie Swinton and Michael Wiley. It's going to be Swinton, and it's out of bounds, and that's a bad way to get a game started. If you're a Carolina fan, it is.
That's how it started last week with the
Yeah.
Giants. Kickoff out of
The ball
bounds.
by rule belongs to the receiving team, 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down.
Ron Blum is the referee. Here are the lineups. And the Dallas offensive line will be changed. Quincy Carter is the quarterback. Threw 42 times last week, the most he's ever done. Adams, Allen, Lair, Page, and Collins up front. Javier Collins, Emmett Smith, Robert Thomas, Antonio Bryant, Galloway, and Tony McGee, the receivers. Quincy Carter. Throwing on first down. Loops it out to Thomas. Very near a first down for the Cowboys. Mike Minter tripped him up. Here's the Carolina Panther defense. The front four is a solid, good one. Rucker, Jenkins, Buckner, and Peppers. The three linebackers also solid. Navy's Dan Morgan in the middle and Mark Fields. In the secondary, Emmanuel McDaniel, Deion Grant, Minter, and Cousins. Second and very short. In the backfield. Panthers had it read perfectly. Navy's the first man there.
And, you know, Flazell Adams, the left tackle for the Cowboys, is the only member of this offensive line that's been in the same position for the first 6 games. Now, when you talk about Larry Allen coming back, if he's healthy, that gives him a lift. But from the beginning of training camp in San Antonio, this group has never gotten it together. And when you watch them week in, week out, there's constant breakdowns up front, which have limited this offense.
Third down, no backs. Flag on the play. They got about 9.5 yards on the first play, and since then it hasn't been much.
This is going to be on Javier Collins, that making his first start at right tackle.
Ball start, number 70 offense, 5 yards. Repeat third down.
Troy Hambrick comes in, excuse me.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's his first nickel situation here as a starter. And sometimes you're out there and you've been playing preseason and filling in at spots, but now all of a sudden, you know, you got to be a little more alert.
Antonio Bryant, and that ball was there. Should have been caught. Wesley was the defender, and it should be a Cowboy first down, but
well, Dan Morgan comes on the blitz. Now, Dan Morgan is one of those guys that was a rookie last year, and in this defense is playing about as well as any middle linebacker in pro football, including Brian Urlacher, and his speed is phenomenal.
Micah Knorr back to punt to Steve Smith, and he can be dangerous, and is dangerous. Signals fair catch, so not this time. The Panthers will take over at their 20. Rodney Peete, a veteran who's been with so many teams and around for so long, out of football for a while, starts, and he has done an outstanding job for the Panthers. The offensive line, Stussy, Tootin, Mitchell, Donnelly, and Terry. Backs and receivers, Lamar Smith, Hoover, Muhammad, Smith, and Wesley Wall, the Pro Bowl tight end. Wall's moved. A lot of pursuit, but the pursuit overran it. Lamar Smith turned what looked like disaster into positive yards. Ekebon, Noble, Glover, and Ellis up front for Dallas. The linebackers, Coakley, Keith Adams in the middle, and Kevin Hardy. Secondary, Hawthorne, Williams, Woodson, and Ross. Second, 7. Pete in the direction of Muhsin Muhammad over his head.
You know, Muhsin Muhammad right there just got that play, came in motion, and it forced the Cowboys to match up with the linebacker Kevin Hardy. Now, Muhammad's missed the last 2 games, and they've lost the last 2 games. He's been a big part of this offense since he's been here. You know, in that playoff run a few years ago that you did, Pat, you know, down there against the Cowboys, he was a rookie then. And here he is out here. They'll move him all over the field today, playing with a probably about an 85% hamstring.
Deep drop. Tipped by Michael Myers. And so the Panthers punt right back.
Well, Mike Myers playing the nose tackle right in the middle, goes up against the double team. If you're not going to get pressure, get the hand up. Rodney Peete, who's just barely 6 feet tall, you know, has a hard time looking between the trees sometimes.
Todd Sauerbrunn. Good kick. Swinton retreats to the 11. Now he's got some speed. Out to about the 25. Brad Hoover brought him down. So we're in the early moments at Texas Stadium. No score as yet.
By Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37.
Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall with Brian Baldinger. Muhsin Muhammad on the stationary bike.
Trying to keep that hamstring loose. You know, he's got to keep that loose and maintain it during the game, not letting it stiffen up.
Quincy Carter brings him out. 3 wide receivers set up for the Cowboys. Morgan showing blitz. They picked it up pretty good. Carter to Bryant.
You know, Pat, this Cowboy team today is already making a change philosophically offensively. Going with 3 wide receivers for a couple of reasons. One, they feel like Darnay Scott is really learning the system, and they're spreading Carolina out. And Carolina's had some injuries in the secondary, and they want to make them play coverage.
They go in a hurry on an empty backfield. Bryant again takes the pass from Quincy Carter. Scrambles around for some more yards. Flag on the play. Ron Blum is the referee.
Well, this is the best defensive front this Cowboys team has seen. They're going to be able to put pressure.
Holding, number 78, offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
And this defensive line leads this league in sacks. You know, right there, that group has 15 of their 18 sacks from that starting front 4. They can get pressure on the ends, and that time it was Julius Peppers over here that got pressure that forced that holding call. He's the rookie out of North Carolina, the 2nd pick in the draft, and he has a huge amount of talent.
Emmitt Smith gets the carry and barrels across midfield. Mike Minter made the stop. But Emmett brought a load with that one.
And was that a burst there?
Wow, yeah.
Watch this burst now. I mean, he likes the job up front, crossing up front with the guard and the tackle. And I mean, that was the quickest burst I've seen out of Emmett this year. No hesitation, and I think a part of that is no fullback in the backfield, and he was able to see that hole quicker.
Smith again. Squirms his way for a first down. Right now, let's return to James Brown in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat and Brian, first row start for Julian Harrington of the Lions. Play action, freezing the strong safety. A wide open Michael Ricks, 41 yards to pay dirt. And it's the Lions striking first on top of the Vikings. 7-0 back to Pat and Brian.
They mark the ball back half yard, and that took away that first down.
Timeout.
Dallas timeout. So that means, of course, that the Cowboys will have 2 left in the first half. No score in this game. Sideline, 3rd and 1. Troy Hambrick's in for him. He needed 234 yards to break the all-time rushing record of Walter Payton when this day began. He's got 17 today.
And a few more quick bursts like he had 2 plays ago.
That looked like the Emmett of 5 or 6 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, he said he likes this turf and he feels springier, younger on this turf.
It's Hambrick deep this time.
They got more movement on that offensive line again.
Yep.
Yeah, this is going to second illegal procedure now in this line of the Cowboys.
Both of them have really hurt. If this is against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I see this Cowboys already making a substitution. A short yardage team's going to come off the field. This team they played each other in preseason.
Right.
And the starters played for a half. They're pretty familiar with one another, although from different divisions.
Delay of game. Defense. The defensive tackle made a non-football move, causing the offense to move. Number 90 defense, 5 yards by measurement, the first down.
And made a non-football move. What is that?
Well, you can't draw the offense off sides by jerking. I mean, I don't know who moved first. It looked like the right tackle moved. Javier Collins moved, and all Julius Peppers did was react to it.
Why can't you do that?
It's anything
a non-football move.
Well, you know, they put that rule in 2 years ago, Pat, where the defensive lineman, you know, when it was really loud in the stadium, would jerk at the offensive lineman to get him to move because he couldn't hear.
But that wasn't that move.
That wasn't the move.
1st and 10 in any case, and Quincy Carter comes back to throw and goes down from around the corner by Mike Minter. Nobody left to pick him up.
A rare safety blitz from the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, here's Mike Minter here. So they're going to bring 2 here. Now, Emmitt Smith is going to pick up 1, but he can't pick up both. That's a situation where, you know, that's a hot read. A quarterback has to feel that, and he knows he's going to get protection on 1. The ball has to come out before the second one gets there.
That's the price you pay if you're going to send people out of the backfield as receivers. That's Michael Wiley. Wiley gets down to the Carolina 38-yard line. Flag now. At the end of the run, McDaniel might have been a little too
well, it's been feisty out there,
yes,
Pat. I mean, early in this game, guys talking back and forth, a lot of pushing and shoving early in this game. Going against the Cowboys.
It was kind of feisty at their practice on Friday, wasn't it?
Number 32. Offense, 15 yards. The foul occurred after the ball was out of bounds. It's 3rd down.
Taunting.
Taunting is the call here. Now, he gets knocked out all legitimately. Man, who's jawing at who? Looks a lot like Deion Grant is doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
Replay, that's next down.
Boy, I tell you, that's hard to throw it to me on Michael Wiley. I mean, it looked like both guys were doing it. I don't know if that warrants a penalty. Of course, we saw a lot of that in practice on Friday, Pat.
Yes, we did.
With Emmitt Smith kind of going at it with young guy Reggie Swinton, and I thought it was about time a veteran player in the Cowboys stepped up and said some things that were going on.
Carter ducks under but doesn't get away from Julius Peppers. Peppers, of course, was an outstanding basketball player. Got long arms. He's good.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what Carolina loves to do. That's a stunt. That's a tackle end game right there. And you see that? Javier Collins and Solomon Page, not a lot of chances to work on that so far this year. But that's a basic stunt that a good offensive line will eat up and pick up and shouldn't be affected by it.
Nor back to punt. Good kick. Steve Smith to the 27. Stopped by Randall Williams. 48-yard kick, 13-yard return.
Our guests make sure to bring their Visa cards to the Forecast Boutique. Visa, the official card of the NFL.
Do I look fat in this dress? Yes.
What Entertainment Weekly says Firefly boldly explores new frontiers.
Who are you?
I'm your wife.
How drunk was I last night? I don't know. I passed out.
They aren't kidding. An all-new episode at 8/7 Central Fox Friday.
No score at Texas Stadium, and I imagine it'll stay close to a few points for either team all day. They play similar football. Neither one of them are going to score a lot of points.
Both defenses are better than the offenses.
Peak. Greg Ellis stops Lamar Smith.
No, this team runs the ball more than any other team in the league, but what they do off that run is play action pass, and the guy that they miss is Muhammad. Now, this team is a lot better with Moose in the lineup. I mean, first of all, he draws a lot of coverage, usually double team most plays, which opens up things for guys like Steve Smith and Wesley Walls.
Smith again.
Right here,
to the 35, stopped by Troy Williams. Flag on the play. This is going to be against the Panthers, and it looks like holding.
Holding number 73. Offense. 10 yards. Keep second down.
New starter in that offensive line, Melvin Tootin.
Melvin Tootin making his first start for the Carolina Panthers. They just replaced him with for Jamar Nesbitt, and they wanted to try and upgrade the position here. So going up against Mike Myers. His left hand kind of got on his back as he finished him.
Kind of.
Had a pretty good grip on the back.
2nd and 16. Nothing happening against the Dallas defense, led by Dexter Coakley. Right now, again, to James Brown in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat and Brian, Chris Claiborne, defensive player for the Lions, had an outstanding year. Takes the loose ball out of the air. His 3rd pick of the season. That one for the score, 14-0. Patrick Ramsey facing zone defense here. Throws the pitch to Jay Bellamy, and he just threw his 2nd one. Right now, Washington trailing 3-0 to New Orleans. Back to Pat and Brian.
And there's no score here. 3rd and 12.
Patrick Ramsey seeing ghosts for Washington.
Slant. Pass complete to Steve Smith, but not nearly enough for first down. Ron Hawthorne.
You know, and when you have the #1 ranked defense in the league, you're not afraid to just go put the defense back out there on the field. And that's what Carolina does. They don't want to turn the ball over. They play it close to the vest. And that's why the Panthers have lost 2 close games in a row. They're never going to get too far in front. They never want to fall too far behind. It's going to be a 4th quarter game. That's how they feel they got to play it until they upgrade the offensive talent.
Todd Sarvin back to kick. He launched one earlier. This one's a line shot that should be returned. Swinton gets away from one. No place else to go. That's another place the Panthers do an excellent job.
Oh, that's their best special team player, Gerard Cooper, hurting his left knee coming down on that turf. Like that knee just stuck in the turf.
Nothing twisted. It looked like he just landed on it.
That Gerard Cooper was just fined $15,000 this week on a hit that wasn't even penalized during a game. over $100,000 in fines for just aggressive hits from Gerard Cooper 2
While
years
the ball
ago.
was in the air, the receiving team held. Therefore, the foul will be enforced either from the spot where possession changed to the dead ball spot, which you use further back. It's a 10-yard penalty, timeout.
That really is all we need to know. It's a 10-yard penalty.
Right.
Nothing. 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. By Microsoft, providing software for the agile business. And by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Cowboys ball at their own 15. No score. Each team's had the ball twice and punted twice. Emmett Smith gets the draw play for minus yardage again. The whole Carolina defensive line involved in the stop.
Well, here was the hold on the punt by the Cowboys. They're holding a guy named Rod Smart, whose nickname in the XFL, that one-year wonder, was He Hate Me. And that's what they look like. They look like they had something against He Hate Me there. A whole lot of hating going on.
That looked like a little let me call you sweetheart dance.
Wrestled to the ground.
Up the middle, Tony McGee. Again, very close to a first down. But I think that's short, about a half-yard distance. About a half-yard short.
Pretty good release that time by Quincy Carter, feeling the pressure. Sneaking that ball in there under excellent coverage by Mike Minner. These safeties are ball hawks for Carolina. Mike Minner and Deion Grant, the two of them. Both of them could teach geometry. I mean, they take great angles to the football.
This time they get it. Twice before they had situations like that, and they had a violation of the rules.
Wade Wilson, who played quarterback till he was age 40, I think, in this league, maybe older. Jerry Rice, of course, turning 40 today. Jerry Jones turning 60. And for Wade Wilson, Quincy Carter, I mean, to him, that's his backup quarterback. Wears the headsets, takes the calls from upstairs. Bruce Costa gives it to him, but he's been a good mentor for Quincy Carter here the last 2 years.
Good protection this time. Emmett Smith makes the reception. And Quincy Carter had a lot of time to look around.
And, you know, I think he's been sacked already here a couple times, Pat. The pressure's gotten to him. And what you're seeing here is the ball being checked down to the backs and to the tight end. And that's a good sign for Quincy Carter because he's been reluctant to do that. Forces the ball into some wide receivers. And I think that's a part of this offense here, that the next stage for him. You know, I'd like to be able to complete the deep pass that he had to Antonio Bryant last week, but he also needs to learn how to check the ball down.
Hambrick. And he barrels into the secondary and gets the Cowboy first down. Stopped by Emmanuel McDaniel, but not before he got good yardage.
Well, you know, this offensive line has opened up a couple of quick holes. Now, Carolina moves all the time. See, their two defensive tackles took outward slants that time, and that hole opened up quick. And that's a good sign that the Cowboys up front are allowing those guys to go the way that they want and then taking them out of the way. And allowing those quick hits to open up for the backs.
Pass complete. Darnay Scott made the reception from Quincy Carter.
That ball was well thrown.
It was.
And Quincy can throw a good ball when his mechanics are good. And one of the ways that you know is in his follow-through. If that right hand comes down and ends up in his left hip pocket. And watch this throw right here. Watch where his right hand ends up. See that right in the hip pocket there? That's one of the ways that you want to look in the mechanics of his throw.
Reverse coming. Reggie Swenton.
Got a setup. Got a block.
Swenton to the Carolina 27 and knocked out of bounds by Minter. That's what speed will do for you, because a lot of people had angles on him, and he just ran right by him.
Well, he's one of those guys that is a track guy trying to play football. And it's kind of funny. I mean, Emmitt Smith and Reggie Swinton got into it in practice on Friday, but they put their differences aside. That was a well-designed play, good handoff by Emmitt, and then good blocking down the field by Quincy Carter and company.
Picked up 23 yards. Emmitt. Got by Brian Allen.
Here's the reverse. Here's the block on Emmanuel McDaniel. That's a good cross block by Quincy Carter, taking down the defensive back. Good setup by Swinton. He's still getting congratulated on the sideline. Yeah. Look, you know, when you're making plays like that, people hold the water bottle for you. They squeeze it for you.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens in 2 days.
Takes a turn around, haven't it?
Day before yesterday at practice, that wouldn't have happened. Here's Carter. Down to the 12. Will Witherspoon tripped him up.
You know, Quincy Carter told us last week that the first thing he does when he gets the ball is he takes a quick peek at those defensive tackles. And if he sees a lane opening up like this, sometimes he just has the freedom to pull it down and go. Now, that was a design draw, but he's not really supposed to look at those tackles, but he can't help but getting a quick look to see that rush.
Through the interception, Julius Peppers is just standing there, and Carter hit him. It's just supposed to be a screen pass. Mark Fields picks up Peppers' fumble. If it hit the ground, you'll get Fields yardage.
Yeah, they advanced that ball.
Yeah.
That ball came out, and they picked it up and advanced it.
It was a screen pass, a blind screen to the right.
The ball was intercepted, legally lateral backwards, picked up by another player and advanced legally. First down, Carolina.
With a quick turn of events. Julius Peppers. Back at Texas Stadium, Julius Peppers' interception gave the ball to Carolina. And here's the run by Lamar Smith. Stopped in the backfield. Darren Woodson up to make the stop.
Well, not only is this a bad play, I mean, Julius Peppers intercepts this now, but his body is down right here. The ball is in his hands. The Cowboys should have reviewed this play, because watch how many yards. They gained an extra 30 yards of field position here. He's down. The ball's in his hands. He's down. That's what instant replay is for, and the Cowboys lost 30 yards of field position for not challenging.
Empty backfield this time. Rodney Pete's going to take off to the Cowboy 25. Keith Adams, Coakley converge to make the stop.
That was some play by Julius Peppers. You mentioned great basketball player out there on Tobacco Road at North Carolina. He looked like a great athlete, you know, just guarding the goal and then just rejecting the ball, and then a lousy throw, but a great athletic move by that man.
Third and about 3 yards. Pete. Touchdown. Brad Hoover, the fullback. He had a couple of guys who were open. Did things ever turn around in a hurry? Cowboys banging at the door at the other end, and all of a sudden a few plays and an interception by Peppers, and they're kicking an extra point.
And, you know, it was great protection here. Watch the blitz pick up here, right here on Darren Woodson. And not only did he have Hoover open, but he also had Muhammad open. Both They both bit on that play-action fake.
So that's the end of the first quarter with the score Carolina 7, Dallas nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from Dallas will continue after these messages. The Panthers just scored the last play of the first quarter to take the lead 7-0. 3 plays, 32 yards, 1 minute and 17 seconds. That's that drive, but it was all set up by Julius Peppers. Reggie Swinton started about the 9. Let's go back to that interception again, Brian.
Well, look at Peppers here. I mean, this is a double screen. They're going to fake a screen this way and then turn around and come back this way. So it's a deception play. Peppers doesn't bite on it, but Quincy made up his mind to throw that ball there to Tony McGee and should never have thrown it. And then watch, here's the safety here. Darren Woodson coming down, and now there's nobody in the middle of the field. And this is just a blown protection here. Blown coverage by the Cowboys. Nobody picked up Hoover going deep.
And nobody was with Muhammad either. First and 10 Cowboys at their own 34. Option play. Emmitt Smith picks up a few. Stopped by Emmanuel McDaniel.
Good job.
And that play's been a good play for the Cowboys this year. That's a 4-belly pitch. Mike Wiley has scored a long touchdown run this year on it. Emmitt Smith's had some good runs, and it's been on tape every week. And this Carolina defense have watched every game of the Cowboys this season, so they've seen it on tape every week, and those ends are playing that play now.
Hambrick in for Smith. Troy Hambrick to about the 43. Hannibal Navy. Right now, let's return to James Brown for a game break.
Hey, Pat and Brian, young Patrick Ramsey, his only completions to the other team. New Orleans making them pay. Aaron Brooks here hooking up with Boo Williams, a 2-yard strike. All 13 points off of Skins turnovers. 13-0 Saints. Back to Pat and Brian.
3rd and short. Carter back to throw. Pulled it down. There's a flag on the play. Carter did not get the first down. Probably going to be for holding and probably decline.
You know, and the difference right now in this game, Pat, is speed. Carolina has it, and Dallas doesn't have enough of it. And the reason why you hold is because you're out of position.
Number 79, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Marcus McFadden is in for Larry Allen now. And that right there is, that right hand has to come off the, you know, the back of Chris Jenkins. And that speed right there of Al Wallace coming off to make the tackle is the difference right now in Carolina. Moving quicker to the ball, reacting quicker.
Micah Knorr back to punt. And Steve Smith deep for the Panthers. Good kick. Stay away from it. Now he picked it up on the bounce.
He's out right there.
Did he give the fair catch signal?
But the ball hit the ground, so it's all off.
All off, and the Cowboys weren't alert to it. And that guy, Steve Smith, went to the Pro Bowl last year as the returner. Said he's due for some big returns.
Well, he almost got a long one. Pretty well tells you who's winning, doesn't it? Dave Campo on the left, the head coach, and Joey Galloway with his head in his hands. Lamar Smith. D. Brown, I'm sorry. Lamar getting a rest, but there's a flag on the play.
Another hold here. A lot of holds today so far in this game. This one going against Carolina.
John Fox, in his first year as the head coach of the Panthers, done a good job. I mean,
holding number 73, offense, 10 yards. Repeat 1st down.
John Fox again, not just the record being 3-2 after such a dismal year last year, but the demeanor of the team, the confidence of the team, the way they act.
Yeah, you know, and the players say that he talks to us. You know, last year George Seifert would just ignore the guys. And, you know, the players never knew what he was thinking, and this guy, Fox, has a good time every day.
Michael Myers jumped across the line of scrimmage.
Grossman, number 94, defense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Myers jumped quickly. Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator.
Does a lot of pacing during the game. Likes to watch the game from this angle, looking at the backside of his defense.
Here's Rodney Peete. He hammered that one in there to Steve Smith. That looked like a Brett Favre rifle.
Well, Rodney Peete, you know, he said he's a little tired of this, but he's now the second oldest starting quarterback in the league. And, you know, he's looking at his wrist there. He's got a wristband with 100 plays on it. He said he needs reading glasses.
But he can't see it.
He said they're so small. There it is. I mean, there's 100 plays on there. Mike McCoy, the quarterback coach, is in charge of drawing that up. And they just give him a number. They just say number 3, and then he reads off number 3, but he needs reading glasses to get the play out.
Lamar Smith from Pete, first down, Carolina.
Please pass, Lamar Smith.
No, Rodney played here. Played for the Cowboys back in 19. Yeah, right. Well, he played for both Al Davis in Oakland. He played for Jerry Jones here in Dallas. And he said that a lot of those guys from afar are misunderstood. They're arrogant. They meddle too much. They dictate too much. You know, they really run the teams, but he thought that both guys, all they really want to do is win. And that's what the players felt like when he played here, too.
Again, good throw from Pete to Steve Smith. And that's enough for another Carolina first down.
This guy, Steve Smith, is the only player in the league that returns punts, kicks, and starts at wide receiver. And he's just a bundle of energy. You know, he comes in the meeting room and he's hyper. He can't sit still, and he challenges or everything that you say to him. He takes it personally. He's got a big chip on his shoulder, but he likes to play the game.
Certainly not one of the giants, at least not in size, but in heart, I think he is. Here's Pete. All day. Wesley Wall. Beg your pardon, Chris Mangum made the reception.
Rodney Peete right now, you know, they thought that they had to get outside the numbers a little bit today. Kind of loosen up this Dallas defense. They've been seeing a lot of 8-man fronts. Lamar Smith got off to a great start, and then everybody said, well, let's stop Lamar Smith and we'll make Rodney Peete beat us. You know, and right now he's managing the game well. This team can explode with big plays like they've already shown.
Pete out to Smith. Slips one tackle. That by Dwan Hawthorne. Roy Williams comes over to make sure he stayed down.
There it is. I mean, most in the NFL plays over 20 yards, and you don't think of that. There's Rodney Peete. I mean, he's this journeyman guy. You know, he's playing with a bad hip and his knee swelling on him. He's been in the league for about 40 years. But this team quietly sneaks up on you because they can run the ball and then they like to play action. You know, and they'll go down the field when they kind of lull you to sleep.
Cowboys were blitzing. Pete got away from it. Got a man wide open who was backing up Steve Smith. If he hadn't turned around and kept running, the scramble does that to you. Rodney Peete thinks I missed him.
Yeah. Rodney, he's in disbelief. Watch Rodney, though, get outside of this pressure here. He sees it and feels it. Now, look, he's not going to win any speed races out there, but he knows how to get away from the pressure, and he'd like to see Steve Smith hold that one in. There's one of those big plays that they lull you to sleep on.
2nd and 10.
You know, they talked about how in this 2-game losing streak, they've had chances to make big plays like that one. They just haven't made it. That's why these games have come down to the wire.
Timeout Carolina after some confusion about assignment. The Panthers lead the Cowboys 7-0. Dejected atmosphere around that Cowboy bench right now.
They need a spark.
Lamar Smith drags Kevin Hardy and came closer to the Cowboy goal line. Gets down to about the 32.
Well, this Carolina offense came in running the ball more than any other team in the league, but they've had more passes than runs today. Almost 2-to-1, and just on this drive alone, that was the first run. And big reason is Muhsin Muhammad, who they've been shut down today, but getting him on the field makes them feel like they can throw the ball more.
Lamar Smith squirmed underneath the pile and came very near to a first down.
Yeah, he's going to be a little short. And I was a little surprised by that play call. You know, I thought that Carolina has a chance. They're moving the ball. They've got some momentum. Put the ball in the air and try and go for it on third down there. Go for a touchdown.
Shane Graham will try from 45 yards to increase the Panther lead. That's going to have to hurry. Get the crossbar.
With a doink. That ball hits the crossbar. It's a dead ball, but he missed one that could have tied it up at Green Bay 2 weeks ago. Hit 2 last week. Didn't hurt up enough.
Then ship them to retailers anywhere. And here's the cool part. It saves me money, so I have the cash to keep.
Shane Graham, Carolina kickers have missed an NFL high 7 field goals, 4 out of 11. Of course, they've been through, what, 3 kickers already?
Yeah, John Casey and Hilbert, and now Shane Graham has missed 2.
Made 2 last week. Carter. That pass was deflected by Mark Fields. Later today, October's magical moments will continue at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, with Game 5 of the ACLS between the Twins and the Angels. Then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, it's Game 4 of the NLCS between the Cardinals and Giants, with the Cardinals try to even the series at 2 games apiece. It's all part of a full weekend of magical matchups here on Fox. Quincy saw him coming. Gets it out to Joey Galloway and saved a few yards. Pressured by Mark Fields again.
Yeah, and first catch by Joey Galloway today. Well, watch the pressure come by Fields, unblocked. This is where you like to have the athletic ability of Quincy Carter to escape that and then to be able to rescue this play. Got his shoulders square. Joey Galloway still with that cast on his right thumb. Great job of pulling that ball into his body.
He spends the week in practice catching with one hand.
Not a bad drill for wide receivers.
Wiley close to a first down. He might have it, but there might have also been a flag on the play or a fumble. Now they're going to measure. So every possibility that you can think of could have happened.
We'll find out if they get to hold on to the ball here. Tyson Walter now in at center for the Cowboys, making his NFL debut, was hurt throughout training camp as that offensive line continues to shuffle.
They got a bunch of guys playing in the offensive line who haven't met each other yet.
No, they haven't. I mean, it's still like preseason for that up there.
Tyson Walter
You know, they're talking to their offensive line coach, Frank Verducci. He thinks that he could be a great center. You know, he's a smart guy. He's learned things real well, real fast. As John Fox is going to challenge.
You're right.
I think whether this ball was out, Pat, there was a lot of guys looking like there was a fumble on the field.
Carolina is challenging the spot, the dead ball spot, in relation to a first down.
Do you think that's what they're challenging, or whether it was a fumble?
Well, you know, when they go in here and look at it, they can really look at anything. I mean, they may see a fumble in here.
Sometimes they see things that aren't there.
Yeah. Well, Michael Wiley getting a rare carry. So that ball's out. There it is. You know, Wiley went after it, but I don't know if he was already down. So where was he? Where was the ball when he was down? So he's down when that ball gets pulled out. So he is down.
Did he have the first down?
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell from that angle. So it's a good no fumble call. Had to get just shy, or it looked like just right onto that 45-yard line for the first down. So they could find out if this ball was down somewhere in the 44-yard range. Looks like that ball got to the line, to that 45-yard line.
Now you got to have a good stance to review those plays. You got to have your hat up.
Yeah.
The bill of your hat, you got to have it on top of the camera.
Well, otherwise
so
the bill will get in the way.
There, yeah.
And then you got to have the headphones that go over the hat.
You got to have good light.
Yeah, good light there. And then, you know, you got to rest the hand up here to brace yourself, because that's bad on the back if you don't brace yourself.
And then you got to be able to get into a full hunker.
Yeah. You know, and then you got the clicker down here. That's changing the pictures. A lot of things going on there. You just don't walk up into the...
Probably some things going on we don't want to know about.
Maybe. Who knows if he's watching football in there. The fans are letting him know.
Yeah.
Fans will tell him everything he needs to know. Of course, it's the home field now. Cowboys just trying to find a spark here today. They want to make a play. They haven't made one yet.
There's not enough visual evidence to change the ruling on the field. It's a first down. Carolina is charged a timeout.
That means that they have one left in the first half. They had used one already.
No, that's the indisputable evidence. The evidence has to be enough to overturn the call, and you just couldn't see it on the angles that we looked at where exactly that ball was.
Word on Dan Morgan, by the way, is that he is out with a pulled groin and may or may not be back. And he's a big loss because he's a defensive leader of this Carolina unit.
Yeah, and I talked to Jack Del Rio, the defensive coordinator, about him before the game. He has a lot of injuries. He's got to learn how to practice a little bit slower than 90 miles an hour.
Most guys, that's a problem for practicing lower than 90 miles an hour. Not to Morgan.
No. You know, in for him is Brian Allen, the young player from Florida State. And what a finish that was yesterday at Florida State, Miami. Good college football weekend. Good football weekend.
Was it?
Yeah.
Sort of wild around here.
Yeah, well, it usually is. That Red River Classic, Texas and Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, third year in a row up there. Bob Stoops has done a great job turning that program around.
Wiley and Hambrick in the backfield. Pass is intended for Wiley, unsuccessfully.
Look at the attention that man Julius Peppers gets on this play. I mean, here he is at the bottom. Now, Javier Collins is going to come out on it, but here comes the back. You know, here comes Troy Hambrick over there to help out. Two guys on the rookie. No, and he's a guy that has arms that are about, think about this for all the guys out there that get their shirts made. His sleeve is 41 inches long. You know, you can't go into Brooks Brothers and buy a sleeve 41 inches.
Pass intended for Darnay Scott. Well covered and well thrown.
And I'd say that that group, led by Peppers and Mike Rucker, is causing all kinds of ruckus out there today. Never looked like Quincy Carter today is have a chance to get settled, get comfortable back there.
Mike Anor back to punt it. Steve Smith deep for Carolina. This one is launched. Takes a Cowboy bounce. A little too much you wanted. Hit it about the 3, but they done it at the 10. Randall Williams. 45-yard punt, no return.
Hey, can I write a check for this?
I just need to see some ID.
Hold that thought.
Eunice, hi.
Come with me. Okay, so I was in a movie with an extra, Eunice, whose hairdresser, Wayne, attended Sunday school with Father O'Neill, who plays racquetball with Dr. Sanji, who recently removed the appendix of him who dumped you sophomore year. So you see, we're practically brothers.
Tired of looking for ID? Use the Visa Chair card to get you in, out, and on with life.
I forgot my ID again.
Every Lexus sedan comes with a VVTi engine for power when you need it.
When John Doe investigates a murder 3 decades old,
can you access DMV records that far back?
The suspect he's chasing could be himself. Who is John Doe? An all-new episode at 9/8 Central Fox Friday.
Today, right now, Carolina 7 yards per pass attempt. Dallas only 2.8. I mean, Dallas is not going down the field to the wide receivers because Quincy Carter doesn't have time due to that pressure of Carolina's front 4.
And they get it done with the front 4. This is D. Brown. Kevin Hardy on the stop.
Here's what the trenches have looked like today. For the running game with Evan Smith, no chance to get back to the line of scrimmage. The blitz on Carter. You know, the blitz gets to that time for a sack, and they beat him with the stun up front, and then the big play here, the turnover, the interception by Peppers. That's pressure. And every team wants a front 4 that can control the game there. You know, if that can't do it, then they blitz one. You know, they send 5 or they send 6, but every team would like to be able to control it with just 4 guys.
Lamar Smith stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Leroy Glover.
Now this is a pressure down. You know, you got the crowd kind of into it. They're up on their feet right now. It's 3rd down. They got Carolina backed up. But Carolina has been resilient in that they will not put the ball up in the air. They won't take chances in this part of the field and allow this defense to make a play. They'll check it down. They may even run it. But they'll play it conservative in this situation.
They're 1 out of 4 on 3rd down situations like this. 3rd and 5. Brad Hoover just let it escape. The ball that should have been caught.
Cowboys did their job. They got off the field. They got a great play on a punt. They got a good bounce and got Carolina backed up. They got their punt returner out there on the field right now, Swinton. It's a chance for Dallas to change some momentum and field position.
Burton fielded it. Momentum took him out of bounds. 45-yard kick, 2-yard return. October's magical matchup continues next week with the Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, beginning with America's #1 pregame show, then Terrell Owens. The 49ers take on Aaron Brooks and the Saints, and the Redskins try to slow down Brett Favre and the Packers. For other regional action, it's all part of the full weekend of magical matchups, including baseball's World Series taking center stage. Only
I was just saying that. Brett Favre had a magical moment, I thought, last Monday night.
Oh, did he
was
ever?
Fantastic to watch.
Emmitt Smith looking for yardage, finding a little bit. When the day began, he needed 234.
There's Brett playing up in Foxborough today against the Patriots. And, you know, you always have a chance when you have a quarterback like that. I mean, a quarterback like that, there's nobody else like that. I mean, there's only one, right?
Yeah.
Unusual
seeing him throw the ball like he can.
Yeah.
Whoa! Smith digging and pushing for a little bit. Stopped by Mark Fields.
Now they got the Emmett meter outside of Texas Stadium. Started today, needed 234 yards to surpass Walter Payton. You know, in the 6th game right now, and you know, I mean, I think at one point in his career he'd have eclipsed that by now.
Oh, at one point in his career he would have had it a long time ago.
Yeah. But you know, he's still averaging 4.3 yards a carry, which was his lifetime average.
Quincy Carter gets it to Kenyon Rambo, and there's a flag on the play.
Now, this came out real late. Personal foul against Carolina. Tack on 15 yards to that first down catch.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 77, defense, 15 yards, first down.
Chris Jenkins doesn't agree, neither does John Fox.
Well, they just pulled him right out of the game, too. And he's getting an earful from his defensive line coach, Mike Durgaback. But here he is, right here in the middle. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. He's just trying to beat a double team.
Crosses the 30, and there's a flag on the play after that carry by Emmitt Smith. Mike Minter made the stop. Holding against the Cowboys. Yeah.
Holding, number 70, offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Javier Collins, who did a good job last week against Michael Strahan.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, right now, they're just undisciplined with what they're doing with their hands. Their hands are coming outside of the frame, and that's a lot of the reason. Big reason is this quickness of Julius Peppers. I mean, he just took one step and went 4 yards inside on that step, and all Collins could do was grab it.
First and 20, and they got to throw it. Quincy Carter lost the ball. There's a scramble, and I think the Panthers got it. Julius Peppers finally wrapped it up.
What a day Peppers is having, because he was double teamed on that play and came back inside, didn't quit on the play, and then closed. Watch this here. Javier Collins hits him. Now here comes the double team of Emmitt Smith. Good chip by Smith. Look at the range by Peppers, though. And that 41-inch long arm knocked that ball out.
He covers a lot of ground in a hurry. And doesn't look like he's working at it, but he is.
Well, he's a smooth athlete, Pat. I mean, he takes 4 steps, and he's used to being down the court playing basketball. And, boy, he's got a big upside to him, too. I mean, he's talented and young, and he's going to get a lot better.
Rodney Peete pulls it back. 5 buys some time, throws it away. Muhammad was the nearest receiver in the area. Pressure applied by Ekubon.
Quincy Carter hasn't had this kind of pressure put on him this year. I mean, that's a full game right there in less than a half right now. And the game looks totally different from a quarterback pocket if you've been pressured like that. I mean, all of a sudden, those little dink and dunk games and completion percentages go out the window when you don't have time to set up.
Pete. Nearly picked off by Kevin Hardy. Intended for Carl Hankton.
Well, Rodney is going to throw up 3 or 4 balls in a game that are going to float on him. And here's Kevin Hardy dropping back to the middle now. He's looking all the way at that ball, and, you know, that's just a situation where, you know, he's just got to be a little bit more aggressive, taking that ball out of the air.
That was into triple coverage.
It was. Ill-advised throw.
3rd and 10. He pulls it down, and they pull him down. Ekubon again, along with Greg Ellis.
Well, those two guys, Ekubon and Ellis, and the other guy, Peppers, all went to University of North Carolina. All recruited by that guy that coaches at Texas, Mac Brown, and the 3 of them have just had a pretty good series. As Ekubon, who hasn't had a sack since week 1, gets good pressure coming around the corner here.
2-minute warning coming up, and we'll get it in just a moment. Carolina 7, Dallas nothing.
Are they checking golf scores there?
They want to know what time is it your flight, and how long does it take to get to the airport.
Or they're doing the New York Times crossword puzzle out there, killing a little bit of time.
How many times did we call holding? Is that enough?
They chart down all the penalties, which has been a lot today, and the timeouts.
Sauerbrunn back to punt. Flag on the play.
See, they'll have to get their little pens and pencils out here and their charts and chart this penalty.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start number 39 of the kicking team. The penalties decline. Still 4th down.
Ron Blum's got a wristband on there. You don't see that a lot. A little sweatband.
That's the names of the guys he's working with.
This is. Yeah, you keep throwing flags like he's throwing, you know, you're going to work up a sweat.
Well, he did what he wanted. He kicked it straight up. Brian Allen was down early. The ball went on into the end zone. And so the Cowboys will start from the 20. Or maybe at the 1. It looks like they brought it back now, though.
How did that ball get through there?
They had it down.
How did it get through 5 guys? It looked like the New York Light football team. Everybody just falling all over each other. Remember that commercial a long time ago? The New York Light team, everybody just fall all over each other?
Yeah.
That ball took a crazy bounce.
They had it corralled one time before it got into the end zone, but it got away.
Yeah, like a bad game of kickball down there.
So the Cowboys will operate from their own 20. 7-0 Carolina. Batted down. Carter's pass comes back to him, and he hears a few boos. Sean Gilbert.
Well, I said at the beginning that this was going to be the best defensive front the Cowboys have seen this year, and they're playing up to it. Now, they're without their middle linebacker, Dan Morgan, but Brian Allen, they're playing right now. But this front 4 has controlled this football game. They got a goose egg up here on offense, and they haven't let the Cowboys get anything going so far.
Showing safety blitz. That's Troy Hambrick. Out of bounds by Mike Rucker.
Yeah, that stopped the clock. You know, in Carolina, who's a team that plays field position, they take advantage of opportunities. They'd love to get this ball back one more time.
Well, they'll probably get it back, although they only have one timeout.
What's amazing about this group and what that man John Fox has done is this is primarily the same group that won one game a year ago. An addition of Julius Peppers, you know, Terry Cousin at corner, and then Rodney Peete and Lamar Smith. Basically, it's all the other guys.
Sometimes it just takes a couple. Down goes Quincy Carter inside the 10. Chris Jenkins wrestled him down.
And I was talking to Chris Jenkins on the field, and it was like you're talking to him, you know, at Starbucks coffee. Relaxed, funny. And I said, do you get fired up to play the game? Do you get yourself all worked up? And he goes, I tried that, but it doesn't do me any good. I want to go out and have fun out there, and physically, I don't think anybody can stop me. And he just beat a double team and a triple team there and never stopped coming. And, you know, he's from the University of Maryland, and the best player I ever saw from Maryland was Randy White. And he said he met Randy White at Maryland a couple of years ago. And I saw Randy yesterday, 49 years old, Pat. He's in better shape than any player on the field.
Randy White?
Yeah. You know, it's unbelievable.
Stay away from him.
Well, you know, they always had great players in Dallas, you know, that they developed. You know, Bob Lilly was there first, then Randy White came. You know, and then Darren Woodson is there. And, you know, since the Jimmy Johnson has left, I don't know that they're developing other great players here of that kind of ilk, of a Randy White or a Bob Lilly or Darren Woodson.
That was the 5th Carolina sack that put Mike Honor back in the end zone. Gets off a good kick, but Steve Smith will field it at the 40. There's a flag on the play already. Roy Hembrick. I think Mike Honor might have been knocked down in the end zone. You saw him struggling to his feet, and this might be a Cowboy first down.
There's two types of penalties on the punter. You know, there's running into him, the 5-yard penalty. Then there's the personal foul, which is 15 and automatic first down.
Running into the kicker. Defense. Penalties declined.
So that was the type that doesn't give you the automatic first down, the 5-yard variety. See, he's punting from inside. Well, I don't know. That's pretty aggressive running. If that's just running in, first of all, he may be hurt.
I think that's a pretty good act. I think that's a...
You've seen that before?
Yeah, that one he learned in high school or college. That move.
Kickers have that ability to act like that, Pat?
Yes. I can personally attest to it.
They can, huh?
Nick Goings, the ball carrier. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, J.B. Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats as the Panthers hurry up. Flag on the play, too much time.
Yeah, either that or the left tackle moved early. Todd Stussy.
Also on the Visa halftime report, Tom Brenneman and Steve Lyons will preview Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start, number 75 offense. This penalty also includes a 10-second runoff. Please set the clock to 43 seconds and start the clock on my signal.
Todd Stussy is the guilty party.
And in the final minute of the first half, offensive penalty that stops the clock will run off 10 seconds automatically.
So it's 2nd and 10. Feet out of the shotgun. Goings, but there's a flag again.
Before the ball was snapped, false start number 70. That also includes another 10-second runoff. Please set the clock to 26 seconds and start the clock on my signal.
You know, They got the State Fair of Texas going on out there,
Yes,
you know,
they do.
at Fair Park, and they should have a contest, a flag throwing contest out there. You could win some prizes because they're throwing a lot of them here today.
Big Tex would win.
Big Tex turned 50.
Goings gets out of bounds and stops the clock with 16 seconds left. They're out of timeouts, the Panthers. There he is, Big Tex. He's swelled up a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, that chest hasn't deflated at all.
That looks like Randy White.
Randy White, that's how he looked. Had a big old belt buckle on him. Yeah. Bench pressing about 500 pounds.
Muhammad hammered in the face by Tony Dixon. And the Panthers are yelling up and down. Helmet to helmet hit. And time runs out. The last hit.
Maybe that hit will wake up the Cowboys.
Maybe.
That's the best thing that happened to this team in the first half.
That was definitely helmet to helmet.
One of those things that isn't penalized, but he may get fined during a week on it.
What's this?
Oof. Roy Williams hit him low, and Tony Dixon smacked him high.
That's the end of the first half. With the score, Carolina 7, Dallas nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with J.B. Terry, Howie, and Jimmy.
The LA Times raves Good News America, Bernie Mac.